Welcome to Talk Pro to Me, the podcast where we talk about our passion, the purpose, and the paths that led us to the professional remodeling organization, Pro. We are excited you're here. I'm Sarah Waters. I'm your host. Now let's build something great. This episode is brought to you by SignOvation. You will applaud their creativity. Hey everyone, we're so excited to kick off our 2026 podcast with some familiar faces here today. I'm going to have you ladies introduce yourselves.
Okay, I'm Jenica Johnston. I am the marketing coordinator.
My name is Skylar Hoxie, and I am the events and membership coordinator. So excited to be kicking off this podcast.
Yes, we have talked about a podcast for probably 3+ years.
Yeah, it's been a
So
minute.
it's very excited that it's come to fruition. So thankful to SignOvation to helping us make this possible. And just happy to have you all here and joining us throughout the year as we continue every month, a couple of podcasts. So we know that can be a little stressful. We want to ease that. We want to kick it off. And so we do kind of our what are we calling these?
The Pro Unplugged
The
segment.
Pro Unplugged. So I will have you just pick from this little canister and you're just going to answer the question.
Ooh, this is a really good one. What is your go-to comfort meal? A hot beef sandwich. The ultimate comfort hot beef sandwich. I'm an old lady at heart. So that's probably my comfort meal.
Yeah. All right. The question I pulled was, if you were on death row, what would your last meal be?
We're foodies, I guess.
We are foodies today. And one of my favorite, I'm originally from Lincoln, so one of my favorite restaurants is called Indian Oven. So I'm going to have to go with an entree from there and probably maybe like a margarita.
There
Love
you
it.
go. You got to have a margarita.
Oh, yeah.
What's the best advice you've ever received? Gosh, that's a hard one. I think a great piece would be, does it serve you?
That's
So
great.
I think you can do all the things, but in the end, if you're always putting yourself at the bottom of that list, you'll lose your mind. So I think always,
so good.
do you
That's
want to
really
be a
good.
part of it? Does it serve you? We thought it's, what a better way to kick off the year than to get to know the pro staff, the faces behind the brand a little bit further. Skylar, you have been with us since mid-September. Started part-time, already worked your way into full-time. We're so excited to have you.
Yeah.
What's it been like for you so far at Pro?
Yes, it's been so amazing. I feel like when I was applying for jobs, looking around, when I came across this one, it really seemed like a fusion of a lot of my experiences and a lot of my strengths. And I feel like since joining and coming on to the team, it's really been that. And it's been learning how to further those and how to just keep learning, really. Yeah. So I've been really enjoying meeting all of the members, seeing all these industry leaders, and just enjoying the ride. So I'm looking forward to 2026 with Pro.
That's awesome.
And you've been awesome. It's been a great relationship for all of us. I think we go really well. Funny little thing is I was a PR and corporate major, and she was in PR as well.
Yep.
So we had kind of that connection. And when we interviewed, I think we had a good chemistry where you just felt good about that piece of coming in and being part of Pro. I think it just was natural. You kind of trust your gut on that. So I was really glad when she decided to come be part of the team. And we've got Jenica, which kind of makes a great mix with all of us. You've been with us a little over a year now.
Yeah, year and a half.
Yeah, so excited. Tell me what it's been like for you working for Pro.
I don't know. It's like a second family. That's really cheesy to say, but like truly all of the members have been like so great. And you've been a great boss. Like lots of grace has been given with my spell check errors and other things. And I think I've just like grown to really appreciate the Pro brand more too. I think I knew of it before coming in and working for Pro, but now that I understand what all truly goes into making it run, it just like amplifies how important Pro is for business owners. So
I second all that. Yeah.
Awesome. The one thing I'm not forgiving is you cannot spell professional wrong. We've learned over time. Spell check that.
I'm really curious, and I'm sure you are too. How about you, Sarah? Like, how has being a part of Pro how long have you been a part of it? And like, how has that whole journey kind of been for you?
I've got 10 years under my belt. I think I'll be starting my 11th year. it's exciting because we've grown tremendously over the past 3 years since we started Pro. We've tripled our membership. We're approaching 300 members, which we used to be 70. So that's insane to me in just such a short time. It's somewhere where I run Pro as if it were my own business, and I have the ability, and I've gained the trust of our board of directors and our leaders and our members. So it's been a gift to be able to run the brand, have a team that it was a goal for years for us to grow staff. So it's so exciting that not only have we grown by one, but we've grown by two. And we have a great team that is very dedicated to the brand too. So I love that about you ladies. As we approach the new year, we've had a lot of exciting things over the past couple of years. We went from 1 to 6 events a month for a member. We've been able to grow our marketing presence, and people are really starting to know the name. They're starting to know who Pro is and what we do, as we try to reach the consumers. What are you excited about as we get into 2026? Do you want to answer first?
Yeah, absolutely. I know for me, one of the most exciting things is we've had a lot of new members come on board recently. So getting to meet these new faces, getting them to events. We have so many fun upcoming events in 2026. I know a fan favorite from last year was the Kentucky Derby that happens, in the spring. That's going to be so much fun. In the summer, we have College World Series. We're going to be bringing back some other really fun things that all you guys have been asking for. So I'm hoping to see all those new faces coming out to these events to make connections, meet us. We want to get to know you guys and have you all fill your Pro buckets, as Sarah always says.
Yeah, I love that. Yeah, the events are always really fun, but I think for me, I think I'm most excited for the podcast. I think it'll help get existing members that have been here, like veteran ones, and get them more out there with with marketing, and also, like you said, the newer members, getting them in here and hearing their stories and what led them to getting either starting their business or what led them to Pro too. I think I love storytelling, and so I think this podcast is going to be really fun for that. How about you? What are you most excited about for 26?
I'm just really excited. We have a great board. We've always had great leaders. So I'm excited every year we seem to elevate that leadership. I'm very excited again for our team to get a little, you're just coming into your roles. Even a year in is when you really start to get it under your belt. Skylar's still just learning the ropes and doing a great job. So I think just getting structures, we've put a lot, as you both know, we've put a lot of systems in place.
Yeah.
Going from a one-person self-managed office to having to put that on paper so that everyone else can understand what's happening is a process. So I'm excited to just be putting structure and policy and really being able for myself to focus more on the business, because now we're able to outsource to our ladies to handle the other things that were too full on the list. And interesting, if you don't know, we all work remotely. So I think we meet once in a while and we have our team meetings, and it just shows we have a great chemistry even when we're not in the office all together all the time. And I think that's just fantastic and speaks to what great talent we have on our team. We're just able to collaborate and come together and really work well in person or from home. And it's a challenge to manage from home and to keep yourself occupied and dedicate your time to work. And they've done a great job. So
I think it also speaks to the leadership that we have. I think you're a great leader of making sure we're on task, making sure we hit the deadlines. So I think that is kudos to you too.
Yeah.
So part of what we do and what we want to share is our story, how we end up here, why we're doing what we're doing. Jenica, I think you started in education.
Yeah.
What led you into marketing, and why marketing? Why what you're doing now?
Yeah, I did start in education, and I actually just did a long-term subbing position. And within that year after I graduated, and during that year, it was a really hard year. I lost my dad, and he taught for almost 30 plus years in education. And I think I saw that growing up, and he was a big role model of mine. So I think I just followed that path. And so when that happened, I mean, when you have a big life event like that happen, it kind of brings things into perspective of like, okay, what do I actually want to do with my life? Like, do I want to be a teacher? I love kids, but that wasn't for sure. Like, I wasn't sure that was the path. And then Cabinet Design Studio kind of fell into my lap, and I was a cabinet designer there for a year and a half before I had my son. And then again, a big life change redirects kind of where you want to go. And when I had him, I realized I really wanted to be at home as much as I could with my kids. And so I did social media for Get Construction and Cabinet Design Studio when I worked there. So I was like, perfect, I'll do that from home. And that's when pro marketing kind of fell into my lap. Oh, once that door opened, I knew I wanted to take advantage of that. And yeah, that's kind of what led me to marketing, was the flexibility of it and how much I just like enjoyed the creativity of it too. So.
I mean, I knew Jenica because she did work for Cabinet Design Studio and Get, and we'd worked on projects together where she was their go-to on a lot of the things. And she was very like, she just got it when I sent her something, and she understood clarity very well and like how to put the stuff together. And I always said, I just need a Jenica to help with my marketing.
You got me.
When I do give it, thank you, Tim Silkmanner,
Shout out
for reaching out and saying, hey, she's going to stay at home and go part-time. You might want to reach out to her, because I was like, yes, I will.
Yeah.
She still went through interview and we did all the things, and we decided she was going to be the good fit. So a year and a half later, we're very excited that you're here.
Yeah, I'm excited to be here.
And Skylar, you're graduated last 2 years, and I always tell her this I tell everyone, I think it's so impressive, but she was a Big Ten Scarlet dancer for the University of Nebraska-Lincoln. And I think that's so cool. And that takes a lot of hard work and dedication to get to that point. So I like to tell everyone that. I like to brag you up in that aspect. But what your PR, what brought you to pro?
So going into college, I was a little unsure of what I wanted to do. I knew that there was so many options. I like being creative. I've always loved hosting. My sister actually suggested that I try out ad PR, so advertising and public relations. So freshman year of college, I just took a few intro classes and loved all of them right away. So natural fit, I declared that as my major, and I really just went with that all throughout college. You mentioned how I was also a Husker Scarlet, so that throughout college really shaped me, and I've really felt that it shaped who I am outside in my professional work as well. I learned so much about communication, representing a brand, being a part of something bigger than yourself, public speaking, all these great things I was able to take away from being on that program, which was so amazing. I'm so fortunate to have had that in my life. So dance has always been a big part of my life. Yeah, I'm teaching for my mom's studio, and this job allows a little bit of flexibility. So I'm still able to make that work with pro as well. So yeah, I'm really kind of meshing all the things that I love: PR, events, I'm a people person. I get to do my little side hobbies with this as well. So it's just really come together, and it's working so well. I get to do all the things I love.
Great. We'll be here for many, many years.
Yes.
Yeah, we love Skylar. She needs to stay.
Yes.
I'm here for good.
Good. Oh, you heard it here first.
I knew when we interviewed Skylar, I was like, I always say I need a mini me that can handle a lot of things. Hopefully you don't find that offensive, but
no, not at all.
I knew based on your she just had such a you knew she was working hard. She did a lot of things on her plate. And so I was excited that she's managed to be able to juggle a lot of balls. So it's a lot. You forget when you've been doing it 10 years and you're used to throwing 100 balls in the air. Not everyone can do that right away. And so I have to remember that sometimes you just got to start with 10, or, I always I tell you, is it too much? I forget.
Yeah.
When you've been doing it like clockwork.
Yeah. It's just second
Which
nature
it's
for you.
so impressive coming into this as an outsider to see that you were doing this all on your own.
Yeah.
You've been doing this solo.
I don't know.
And to be able to come in and take some of that off and allow you to really focus on the business growth aspect of this is really just going to help pro so much. But it speaks volumes of Sarah and her work ethic.
Yeah.
Can you tell me a little bit about how what led you to pro? What's your story prior to this? I know that this is a huge part of it, but I'm just so curious what brought you here.
Once I was in corporate, did not love it. Just didn't have a good fit. Didn't work out at a company I was at. So I took a little bit of break time. I had 2 little kids and decided just to focus on that. I found pro, and I wasn't really sure. And they were just starting to go full time with somebody. And so I was like, okay, well, I was taking a pretty significant pay cut at the time. And I'm like, well, I want banker's hours. I always said I want banker's hours. So they're like, sure, we'll do that. Well, of course, I ended up working more to 9 to 3 because it just started. We could grow in. We could start doing this, and we started implementing more things. And I've loved the creativity aspect of it. I love that we could try new things, and the board was open to that, and the members were open to it. And I think I just love the concept of growth, and I loved learning to run a business and learning to evaluate the numbers. And I'm kind of surprisingly a nerd when it comes to that. I didn't even know that I liked it. 10 years flew by. I've had great relationships no matter where things go. I always say I'm very appreciative of the growth I've had as a business owner, a leader, but also the relationships and the people that I've gotten to know. We talk a lot about our members. We're very member oriented. So if this is your first time kind of being exposed to Pro, you're not familiar with what we do, we're kind of twofold. I'll have you ladies kind of explain, what do you feel like has been the benefit to a consumer? What is the benefit to a member?
Yeah, I'll hit on the consumer part. On our website, we have a whole directory of amazing business owners that are a part of Pro that you can just go, and you can even type in like plumbing, and it'll pull up a few different options for you, and you can kind of vet from there where you want to go. I think it's a great source for, I know if I was doing something in my house, I would go to Pro because I just know that they're vetted and trusted, great businesses to work with. Yep.
And that's our goal, for consumers to understand and have a resource. Where do you go to know how to get your project done? What are the questions you should be asking a contractor? What contracts, if you don't have a contract run as a consumer, there should always be a contract. And understanding your rights too as a consumer, and what to know when you're going through. It's a lot of money. It's a stress. They're in your home for months.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's what we would do when it comes to a consumer side.
Yeah, and on that membership side, if you've thought about joining, one thing that makes Pro stand out amongst these networking groups is that we do offer education. This is a networking group that's going to help you up your business. So we have lunch and learns. Those, you can talk about bookkeeping. We talk about how to level up your marketing. All these things that are going to make you take that next step to grow your business. And that's really unique. We also offer mastermind sessions where you can collaborate with people in similar industries. You can troubleshoot together. You guys share a lot of those same pain points, and you can really work through those together. So that's very unique as well. But then to top it off, we're just a great group, fun networking opportunities. You get to hang out with these really amazing people. So it's a fun group, but I really would have to say that educational aspect makes Pro so special and so important to add into what you're doing for your business.
Absolutely. Yeah. It is. It's very collaborative over competitive. A lot of people say, oh, it's 100 contractors. Aren't they just competitors? Well, they are, but not every project's the same. Not every project, not every consumer's the right project for a contractor. And so they become referrals for each other. Like, hey, I don't focus primarily on bathrooms, what this contractor does. And I know him, I trust him, I've seen his work, I've met with him. So it's great to have that network. They do become referral sources. And I think that's a lot of what Pro is. It's not just transactional exchanges. It is relationships that over time lead to better business decisions, better business partnerships, better relationships that then in turn do grow your business. So we get to the fun part of this conversations. Tell me, what is one of your favorite moments in Pro, or your favorite member moment that you've had, and why?
I think the award ceremony and holiday party is my ultimate favorite, because not only do we get to recognize members' achievements, but also the CEA Contractor of Excellence and all of the hard work that they've put in, either just as a member or as a contractor, designer. I think that's one of my favorites.
I think that's our third year doing that awards program with Pro, and we went from 3 the first year, and now we have almost 20 entries this year. So that's exciting to watch the program grow.
Yeah.
I think one of my favorite things is just watching the members grow through utilizing the network and other programs. I think if it comes to mind would be like David Benson with Superior Home Improvement, or Forsman's Finest, Shelly and Travis Forsman. I mean, they were small companies. And I think like watching Dave and Superior, he's been around a long time, but he started to outsource and use designers, and you watch the work elevate, and you watch his business grow, and he has staff that have been with him for years, and he started outsourcing more. And it's just cool to watch a company continue to grow and expand. Same with Forsman's. She worked in the field with him. It was just the two of them.
I saw that. That's cool.
And so to watch them go to 7+ employees and have a building and trucks and all the things, it's really cool to watch companies elevate and grow as a brand.
Yeah.
That's one of the best things, I think, is to watch the system work is awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I would have to say so far one of my favorite memories was I think it was my second week. It was the golf tournament.
Yeah.
So that was just so fun to kick it off, seeing everyone like letting it so loose, just having a fun day out. I think that was a really great way to meet a lot of the members. So that was a good memory. There were some funny things that happened that day.
When you're not working, which is not very much because we work all the time, what do you like to do in your free time?
I don't have much of a life outside
I was thinking,
outside
I don't
of
either.
outside of being
I
a
don't
mom
know.
and working. That's pretty much in a wife. In my free time, I do photography. I love doing it for friends and family. I've started dipping my toes in the interior photography, which has been kind of fun too. My just spending time with my family.
Yeah. I would say when I'm not working, I like to work my other jobs. So
She's a workaholic.
I teach dance.
Worker.
My mom owns a
Worker
dance
bee.
studio in Waverly. So I teach dance a few nights a week. That's really fun to see the kids. I also teach hot sculpt and hot Pilates over at Lois House of Yoga. So that's really fun. Lots of times starting the morning off with a good workout class. So I love doing those. But if I'm not doing one of my jobs, I think it's fun to spend time with friends, family, go get a drink at like fun little cocktail bar,
Yeah.
something like that. How about you, Sarah?
I love doing a puzzle.
Oh, that's a good hobby.
Very fast puzzler, and I've noticed not everyone can puzzle. Spending time with my husband, the kids, or watch reality TV shows because it doesn't.
Oh, I love reality
again,
TV.
I
Yeah.
like things that on my downtime that doesn't remind a lot of brain usage.
Sometimes you need a brain rot.
Yeah. What is one thing we'd be surprised to know about you?
Something that probably a lot of people don't know about me is I lived in Arizona last year. So I spent a year out in Arizona getting a little bit of work experience. I moved out there with some friends. So just took a fun year to escape the cold. And, right now we're in the depths of winter. I'm missing it a little.
Something that they might not know is that I'm expecting our second little baby.
Yeah.
June.
Woo woo. Sarah, what's something our members wouldn't know about you?
So some would know, but most probably do not, that I like karaoke, but I went to state Nebraska karaoke once.
What?
You competed in karaoke?
I did, but I went to a bar and sang for the first time ever, but did not know it was a contest, and I won the contest, and it was for state karaoke.
Oh my god.
Sarah, this is awesome.
So don't ask me about it. But yeah.
And
fun
our
little
closing
fact.
song will be Sarah singing.
If you weren't doing what you're doing right now, what would you be doing?
Staying at home with my kids.
Total stay-at-home mom.
Yeah.
Well, like a dream job?
Anything.
Or what I would be doing?
Yeah.
We've talked about this. My dream job would be to be a pop star.
A karaoke state
That's
winner
probably
and
why
a
we
pop
get along
star.
so well. You have the karaoke background, and I want to be a pop star.
That's hilarious.
But no, more seriously, I'd probably, be doing a little bit more with my mom's dance studio.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can see that happening. I love the pop star because it makes me feel more confident you might be here longer.
I don't have any attainable goals.
I don't know that we could be more opposite. A stay-at-home mom and
Yeah.
a pop star.
But we get along well.
We do. That's what matters.
That's when.
What would you do?
Probably my husband and I always talk about like VRBOs, flipping and then
Mm.
VRBOing. We're both very good at kind of
Chip
doing
and
our
Joe.
own work and like making it look good with a cheap budget.
Yeah.
What's your one go-to place if you could visit anywhere? What would it be?
Okay.
I haven't gone to get to Europe yet. So I feel like that's so big and you can experience
Yeah.
so many different cultures all in one trip.
My dad was a history teacher, so I'm huge on like history and family history. And my mom's side is from Denmark. And I've seen pictures of Denmark and it looks really pretty.
Beautiful.
So I'd want to go there or Australia. I love that kind of scenery. Just more
Yeah.
the adventurous, but also you can kind of lay low at the same time.
Sarah, how about you?
I love a beach, an island.
Oh, yeah.
Maldives. Also, Dubai is really cool.
That was a thought that came through my head was Dubai.
Yeah.
Or India. Just something so
Yeah.
different.
A really fun fact. I've been to China.
You have?
We adopted
That's
a little
awesome.
girl when I was 10 and she was 2.5 and I got to go to China and
That
go
is
adopt her.
amazing.
Yeah. So we went to the Great Wall, the Forbidden, all the
Oh,
things.
wow.
It was so cool. Yeah.
I didn't know that about you.
Yeah. Another fun fact.
That was a great fun fact.
Before we wrap up and approach the close of our first ever pro podcast,
Woo!
what advice do you have for future guests coming onto this podcast? What advice do you give them for sharing their purpose or their story?
I would say a piece of advice I have is to take a little bit of time before coming here and reflect on your journey. I think sometimes we get so caught up in doing it, we don't actually reflect on what makes me tick? What do I actually enjoy about this business aspect? What am I good at? Why did I end up here? So spend a little bit of time with yourself to just reflect on all those things.
I think everybody's story is so unique, and just come in excited to share it. I think nerves are normal, but just knowing that it's more of a laid back environment, just relax and just enjoy it. But I do think everybody's story is powerful, and you may relate to like somebody that comes on and you're like, wait, that's amazing. I need to connect with them and talk about that more. So you can form connections out of it too.
I would say, yeah, being your authentic natural self. There's no wrong answer, really. I mean, we want to know who you are, and I think that's what we always say about pro. You're coming in, and it's who you are. Who you are, and what you do is who you are. We don't want. It's not about having a fancy suit. It's not having a face up for every meeting. You are who you are, and that's who we want to know. We want to know the real you. We want to know the real story behind who you are, why you're here, and how we can best help you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you everyone for tuning in to our first ever pro podcast. Adios.
Bye.
This episode is brought to you by SignOvation. You will applaud their creativity.